Hello, it's me. So in this video we are going to look at the preterite tense, regular verbs, AR, ER and IR verbs, okay? So this is me, Senor G Spanish. So objectives today are to understand what it is, the preterite tense, to form it, and to prepare to use it in reading, speaking and writing. What do you need to do while you watch this video then? So, you need to make notes, play, pause, rewind, etc. Whatever you're doing, if you're doing it on your phone or on the computer, you can do all that, rewind, fast forward, ensure you have a full grasp of what I'm talking about. Write down any questions you have. We'll have some time to talk about some questions next time. And after you've watched, you need to do the online activity where the link is in the email I've sent to you, and it will also be in the description if you've deleted the email for whatever reason. We'll see how well you've understood. And then we're going to be using it next lesson. Okay, so what is the preterite tense? Now, it's past tense, one of the many you'll learn in Spanish, used to describe something that's happened and is finished. For example, I bought or he played. Right then, here are a few examples. So we've got comí, which is I ate. Escuchaste, you listened. Miró, he or she watched. Hablamos, we spoke or talked. Pensasteis, you, and that's the plural form, thought. And trabajaron, they worked. Okay, so now you get what it is. You need to know how to form it and when you use it. So, how do we do it? You need two things for the preterite tense. You need to know the infinitive verb. Those are the ones that end AR, ER or IR. You need to know the correct endings, and there's two sets, one for AR verbs and another one for ER and IR verbs. So firstly, the infinitive verb. This is the equivalent of to do something in English. For example, to go, to play, etc. In Spanish, infinitives are either AR, ER or IR verbs, and that refers to the last two letters of the verb. We need to find some of these verbs. So what you need to do is find these in the dictionary, really quick. Use the dictionary, write them on your notes. Pause the video while you do this. Just as a help, they are all going to end in AR. So, here's check your answers. For to buy, you should have had comprar. To visit, you should have had visitar. To swim, nadar. To travel, viajar. And to think, pensar. Right, now what then? So, we've got the infinitive verbs. That's really good, but now we need to put them in the preterite tense. Obviously, at the moment, we're just focusing on the AR verbs. The ER and IR verbs come later in the video. So for AR verbs, for example, hablar, which means to talk. Again, like we often do, we take away the AR from hablar, which leaves us with our stem, which in this case is habl, H-A-B-L. For AR verbs, we add the endings, which I'm going to show you now on the next slide. Here we go. These are the endings for AR verbs. Once you remove the AR, you put these in its place. So not at the front or anything like that. It goes where the AR used to be. So we've got for I, aste for you singular, o for he or she or it, amos for we, astes for you plural, and aron for they. Okay, you might want to make a quick note of those and pause the video. So if we use hablar, which was to speak from earlier, we've removed the AR and that's left us with habl. You would just choose one of those endings. For example, if I wanted to say I spoke, we would choose with an accent, which means I spoke in Spanish would be hablé. Okay, there are the endings. So let's try another one. I want to say they thought. So from our verbs that we found earlier, we've got the list of infinitives, and one of them on there was to think, pensar. Okay, so we're going to look that up in the dictionary if we didn't know it, and we would find pensar. So I want to say they thought. I don't want to say to think, so I need to conjugate that verb to make it they thought. Okay, so I take off the AR ending, which leaves me with pens, and I want the they form, which if you look below, is aron. Okay, so if I want to say they thought, it would be pensaron. Okay, so here's a little breakdown. So step one, take the infinitive, in this case pensar, remove the AR, leaving you with pens. and add the ending you need. For example, if it was I thought, you'd add the E on the end, is pensé. Okay, so pause the video and have a go at these 5. Remember, you take the AR off and then you add the ending. I've given you all the infinitive verbs. Take a minute and do them. Okay, so I want you to check your answers. So I spoke is hablé. You, singular form, watched, miraste. He thought, pensó. We visited, visitamos. And they recommended, recomendaron. Okay, so moving on to ER and IR verbs. I want you to find these in the dictionary. Okay, write them on your notes. They all end in either ER or IR. Again, pause the video while you do this. Okay, check your answers. There we got to eat, comer, to drink, beber, to serve, servir, to sell, vender, to learn, aprender, to write, escribir, and to live, vivir. Okay, again, we've got the infinitive verbs. We need to put them in the preterite tense. We need to conjugate them. For ER verbs, e.g. comer, to eat, vivir, to live. Again, we take the ER and IR off. So imagine that was for those 2 verbs, we'd be left with com or viv. And we add the endings on the next slide. These are different to the ones in the AR verbs. Okay, so we really need to be careful not to mix these up. Here are the endings. Again, you put them where the ER or IR was. So for I is E. The singular form of you is iste. He, she, or it, io. We, imos. You, plural, isteis. And they, ieron. Okay, so make a note of those again. Okay, so let's take comer as an example, which means to eat. Okay, we take the ER off, which left us with com. And now you just choose one of the endings again. So if I wanted to say I ate, I would choose the E from below. And therefore I ate is comi. Okay, so that easy. Try another one really quickly. Let's go for, I want to say they drank. What English verb do I need? So I need the infinitive, which is not drank. You wouldn't look up drank in a dictionary, you'd look up drink. Okay, so we look up drink and we find beber. If I want to say they drank, I need to choose the right ending. So obviously I wanted to say they drank, so the right ending I need here is the they form, which is ieron. So I've removed the ER ending off beber, which gave me beb. I want the they form, which as we can see from this table is ieron. I put it on the end and it says bebieron. Okay. Again, here's just a quick breakdown. For example, beber, to drink. Step 1, take the infinitive. Step 2, remove the ER or IR. Step 3, add the ending you need. If we want to say I drank, we use the E. So it's bebi, I drank. Okay, just another quick one. Not even a minute, this won't take you. There's just 3 of them. Again, I've included the infinitives. I ate, you drank, and he served. 30 seconds will take you to do those. Write them on your notes. Okay, so just to check your answers, I ate, comí. You, in the singular form, drank, bebiste. And he served, servió. Okay, so we're just going to break down the steps and have a quick practice at a few more. So, step 1 is to find the infinitive verb. For example, the verb would be hablar, comer, etc. For AR verbs, remove the AR and add the correct ending. And for ER and IR verbs, remove the ER or IR and add the correct ending from the other table. Remember, there's 2 sets of endings, one for AR verbs, one for ER/IR verbs. We do not want to mix those up, otherwise you'll be inventing words. Okay, so try these, please. There's 4. First one I want you to do is I drank, then he listened, they worked, and we went out. It'll just take you 30 seconds again. Just quickly pause the video. Okay, check your answers. We found the infinitive verb, remove the endings, and you've worked out that I drank should be bebí, he listened should be escuchó, they worked should be trabajaron, we went out should be salimos. If you've got any of those wrong, check the endings that you've added. For example, you may have put bebé, which obviously means you've used the AR verb endings on the ER verbs. For example, you might have put escuchó instead of escuchó. Okay, that would be because you've put the ER ending on an AR verb. So just check those and make sure you're okay with it. And that's it. Okay, so all you need to do now is complete the online test. It's not really a test, just an activity to check your understanding. I want you to let me know how you get on that. For example, if you get 0 out of however many, I'd like to know. Equally, I'd like to know if you get them all right. The link's also in the email. It's also in the description. So have a click on that. It will only take you 2 or 3 minutes. Remember, practice makes perfect. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next lesson where we will practice it further. Adios.